The Crypts of Winterfell are described as a mysterious and foreign place in the Song of Ice and Fire books, but yet the narrative still places a strong focus on what lies beneath them. Many fans have theorized about what is within its chambers, so today let's take a look at one theory about dragonglass, or obsidian, potentially being hidden in the Crypts of Winterfell. Now this is a spin-off theory of a larger, more well-known prediction about dragon eggs being hidden in the Crypts of Winterfell. However, many of the same points which apply to that theory also support this one, and if you take a look at the course the show has been taking, you'll find that this theory might just make more sense to you. So to begin with, let's first go over what the dragon egg theory is about, to better understand why there might be dragon glass. The Crypts of Winterfell hold the corpses of deceased Starks, but many fans think there's more hidden in there because of how much detail the books pay to the crypts. In fact, the main basis for the theory about dragon eggs comes from the beginning of A Dance of Dragons. Prince Jacaerys' dragon, Vermax, is rumored to have laid eggs in the depths of the crypts. This may be because Winterfell is built on a hot spring, as stated in Chapter 2 of A Game of Thrones. We are told that the springs beneath Winterfell keep the castle warm, and it's worth noting that hot springs are only located in volcanic areas. To build on this, it is said in A World of Ice and Fire that the small folk have been known to claim that the springs are heated by a dragon that sleeps in the crypts. But since they are uneducated and they are the common people, we can assume that they are really referencing the hot springs underneath Winterfell. So where am I going with this, you ask? Well, there are numerous pieces of evidence that suggest Winterfell is somehow related to dragons, but at the moment in this story, hype has already been built around dragon eggs. I don't see it as likely that dragon eggs will somehow play another role in the story. It just wouldn't do justice to what has been going on recently in the narrative. However, there is the upcoming threat of White Walkers that has been established in seasons 5 and 6. We also know that dragonglass, or obsidian, along with Valyrian steel and fire, are the only 3 ways to kill White Walkers. With this in mind, I see it as more likely that Jon Snow will discover dragonglass in the crypts, rather than dragon eggs. Going back to what I stated about the hot springs and how they keep Winterfell warm, obsidian is an ancient form of volcanic glass, and it would make sense for it to be located there because of Winterfell's geographic location. Think about it. The hot springs are in a cold climate, which means that obsidian would be formed when the lava from the hot springs meet the cold air of Winterfell. If you look at this from the perspective of the storyline, it makes logical sense, too. There aren't enough Valyrian blades around to outfit the army of the undead, so at some point George R.R. Martin will have to present the protagonists with a source of obsidian. Otherwise, the battle will just be over as soon as it begins. Now, you might be thinking, couldn't the obsidian be at the Night's Watch, because we already know some is buried there? Well, presumably, there's not enough, so Winterfell is as likely of a place as any, especially considering that it's the heart of the North. The final main piece of evidence that supports this theory is true comes from a dream that Jon Snow experiences in the books. He is dreaming of his exploration of the crypts, and he has some surprising thoughts. One line reads, "He sniffed at the bark, smelled wolf and tree and boy, but behind that there were other scents. The rich brown smell of warm earth, and the hard gray smell of stone, and something terrible." Notice how Jon describes the smell of the warm earth and the smell of the stone. Could it be that he's referencing obsidian in the Crypts of Winterfell as the warm earth and smell of stone? Perhaps the smell of something terrible is even the White Walkers coming to Winterfell. In recap, there is a great deal of mystery surrounding the Crypts of Winterfell, and seeing as how Winterfell is located over a hot springs, it would make sense for there to be dragonglass secretly hidden within. When the White Walkers come, the Norsemen could work to forge obsidian weapons to kill the White Walkers, which would do justice to the current storyline. That's just a theory though, and if you have feedback, be sure to leave it in the comment section. Also, please consider subscribing for more theories similar to this, and if you have ideas for future videos, send them to the email address linked in the description. Thanks for watching.